So we're on the east side of Palma. We've just come to the Playa de Palma, and we're going to have a little walk along the front here. The sun's shining. The weather forecast said rain and storms. It's perfectly calm and there's hardly a cloud in the sky.
Struggling.
And Savannah's giving Anita something to do. Nana something to do. Anyway, let's go for a little walk and we can see what's news around here. It's actually ended up being a beautiful day. When we were planning to come over here this morning, we looked at the weather forecast and it said 11 o'clock rain. Well, it's now 11:45 and some clouds over the mountains, but above us it's blue sky and it is beautiful. Today's the 12th of February 2022 and it's the start of my half-term holiday, so I've got a week off from school now and hopefully be making videos all through the week letting you know what's going on here in Mallorca. And there's quite a lot of news which I've been mentioning in the videos up until now. So to start with, the masks went, so you will see some people wearing masks, but in the streets we no longer need to wear them. So fresh air, you don't really need to wear a mask. And if you go into a shop or you go into a bar or a restaurant, then masks back on. But walking along the promenade like this on the beach, masks are no longer required, so that's great news for people who don't like them. I'm afraid I've got used to them, so it didn't really bother me. Next thing was that big problem with children over 12 coming from the UK. The UK is now a third country. It's no longer part of the European Union, and so it's classed as a third country, and so they have to follow third country rules. And the third country rules for Spain said that children over 12 and older had to have a double vaccination, and that simply wasn't really possible or for some of the children who would be coming on holiday here in the summer. Anyway, that rule is being relaxed from Monday, and so children 12 and over, 12 to 17, will no longer need to be vaccinated in order to come, but they will need to have a PCR test within 72 hours of arriving here. So that's great news for families who are planning to have their summer holidays here in Mallorca. And Playa de Palma is a beautiful place. There's some little yachts out there, some little sailing dinghies, and people paddle boarding, and lots of people having a walk around. One reason for coming to the Playa de Palma is that the season, I think, now has officially started here. I don't know how you decide whether it's officially started or not, but the tour operators from Germany, as of today, are bringing tourists to Mallorca, and so we're going to see a lot of Germans, particularly on the Playa de Palma, which is one of the areas where the German tourists come, and we'll see a lot more life along here. So the bars and restaurants will be opening up, and the beach will start to get a little bit busier. People keep asking me, what about the temperatures? Is it hot? How hot is it? Well, it's February, so it's cold. I did come out with my coat this morning. I've had to take that off. It's just too warm for the coat. I've still got a jumper on, feeling quite warm. It's not really beach weather for me, but I can see someone in the sea over there swimming along, and there's lots of people actually sitting on the beach. So it depends on your constitution. It's certainly not my constitution to be swimming in the sea yet. I'm a July and August person. But it is actually a beautiful day. So the season's begun to start, and because it's half term, we are expecting we're probably going to get some British tourists coming out over the next few weeks. So it's not just the Germans that are going to be here, we're going to see lots of other nationalities as well. We've only got one more day, and then Serena and Luna and Savannah, they'll be returning to England. Yeah, their flight's tomorrow morning, so we'll be off to the airport and taking them, and I'm sure they're going to be very excited about seeing their daddy.
Go over to there, Serena. Don't worry, she'll fall asleep.
Savannah's making herself well known. The half-term holidays here, the school itself decides when it wants to take a half-term or not. Spanish schools don't have half-terms. Anita's half-term is actually not the same as my half-term. It's actually a 2-week difference. So Anita has to go to work next week. And then the following week we'll both be at work, and then the week after Anita will be officially on holiday and I will be back at work. But having said that, 1st of March here is a public holiday, so it's Baleares Day, so I'll have the day off on the 1st of March as well. And then we'll be looking forward to Easter, when we've got our eldest daughter and her 3 boys coming out, and Serena's coming out as well. So we'll have 5 grandchildren here. Our son and his children and wife are going off to Holland for a while, so they'll be going and the others will be arriving. Received a few comments yesterday about my tie. Luna quite liked the look of my tie and she was pulling it. It's like a red and black tie, and it's the tie for Real Mallorca, the football team. And I have a little bit of a thing where when Real Mallorca win, I wear that tie to go to school. And as I said in some of the comments, I don't have a lot of opportunity to wear it this season. We don't win so often, so it's been a pleasure to wear it over the last week. We've got another football match on Monday evening. It's a late one, 9 o'clock kickoff. That means it doesn't finish till about 11 o'clock at night. And we're playing Athletic Bilbao, and that's going to be a tricky match. We'll be looking forward to getting 3 points, we hope, and lift ourselves away from that relegation zone. So there's a lot of people out there on paddle boards. Most of them got wetsuits on, but it must be quite warm. A few of them have actually taken the tops off. And then there are some people in the water who might be doing a little bit of dive training, I think. So yeah, it's got this feel now that the season is all ready to kick off, and that's really early. We've not seen a season start in February, March for a long time. But here's one of the beach cafes that's not open yet. It'll be interesting to see in another week or two whether these start to open up as people are walking past, particularly at the weekend when you get the Spanish families walking. Well, just by coincidence we bumped into our friends Yvonne and Adolfo. We hadn't arranged to meet here on the Playa de Palma, but we bumped into them, so we've just stopped off for a coffee and a shandy. And really nice. And the bad weather simply has not materialised. It's really pleasant here. I'm noticing a few clouds in front. Luna's woken up. And quite a few people we've seen walking around along this lovely promenade. It's getting towards lunchtime now as well, so we're going to be looking to see if we can find somewhere for a simple lunch. I'm not going to have anything big today for lunch. We're going to have a small lunch, and then we're probably going to have a takeaway this evening because it's Serena's last evening in, and it's easier to have a takeaway than to take the children out in the evenings. Lots and lots of dinghies and yachts out there in the sea. And the paddleboarders as well. So I think we'll catch up if we find somewhere for lunch. I'll let you know what's going on later. Well, we just stopped off at a little cafeteria just off the beach, so we're just one block back. And Serena and Anita and I have got pepito de lomo, which is pork with bacon and cheese, tomato in a baguette, a few chips. Luna over there, she's got chicken nuggets and chips and an egg. She loves eggs, and I've been eating the olives as well.
Savannah's got a monkey.
So I'm sure we're going to enjoy this light lunch, and then we can enjoy our Indian this evening. So I had a lovely lunch, and we're just going to make our way back to the car, which is just the other side of this park, which is where we started our morning. The children all went to the park, and this is actually a park in La Ribera, which we've never been to before. So it's back a little bit from the beach, but it's beautiful. It's a little forested area. There's park benches. You can imagine in the May or June when it's a little bit hotter, there's plenty of shade to walk. And then for the children, there was plenty for them to play on. And there's actually some people even having what looked like a birthday party there. And then we've seen other people exercising, running around, jogging around, or just having a stroll around the park. You lost?
Yep.
Well, we'll go this way.
Follow the leader.
It's a park where it looks as though you could get a little bit lost, isn't it? It's lots of trees, but nicely laid out paths. And it looks pretty well looked after. And when we arrived, which was quite early this morning, it looked as though the gates had only recently been opened. So I think it's closed off at about 10 o'clock at night and opens up sometime in the morning. And we also saw this morning they were having an exercise class of some sort. I think Anita wanted to join in. I think it was my sort of thing though. There's a little park bench. And we're just coming up now towards the park for little children, which was very busy this morning. We had Luna was playing with our other two grandchildren, Freya and Indy. A really pleasant walk through quite a surprising place. Just about to note that it's a little bit uneven underfoot in some places. And the birthday party that I mentioned earlier on looks as though they've actually set up tables and shade and everything. Rita's bringing up the rear with Serena, Luna, and I think Savannah's fallen asleep. Other families here setting up a picnic. I'm not going to invade their privacy, so I'll turn the video off now. Well, we've had a lovely time walking along the Playa de Palma. We've been with our family, we've met people, we've had lunch, and we finished off back in the park. So Luna will have the last few minutes in the park and then we'll be heading off home. Thanks very much for watching. If you've liked it, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and we will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye.